Yes, I know. You've watched every anime that I've ever recommended. So here is 5 anime that you haven't watched. Probably. But good luck trying to guess what waifu this is. Number 1. To the Abandoned Sacred Beasts. The North was losing the Civil War, so they began human experimentation, which caused them to create the Incarnates. Incarnates are humans who have been given the ability to transform into giant monsters, and of course, the North easily won the war using this power. What they didn't know at the time was that the monsters inside of the Incarnates have been slowly but steadily eating away at their humanity, and is now causing them to lose control. This anime follows Nancy Shaw, the daughter of a deceased Incarnate, as she seeks revenge against the man who killed her father. She finds the murderer, but it turns out to be Hank, the former captain of the Incarnates. After her anger subsides, Nancy decides she wants to learn more about the Incarnates, so she follows Hank as he travels around the country, putting down all of his former subordinates who have lost their humanity. To the Abandoned Sacred Beast is a very interesting and thought-provoking anime, as it blurs the lines between what is right and what is wrong. I highly recommend watching it if you are intrigued by the story, but if not, there's definitely better anime out there. Number 2. Sirius the Jaeger. This story begins with a group of merciless vampires attacking and destroying a village of werewolves. They planned to completely eradicate the werewolves, but Yuli managed to survive. Now, the same group of vampires have begun to attack Tokyo, and they are much too powerful for the local police to handle. In order to combat the ever-growing vampire menace, the city of Tokyo hires a group of vampire-hunting mercenaries known as the Jaegers, and Yuli just so happens to be their strongest member. This anime follows this group of unique individuals known as the Jaegers, and they do battle with the vampires. It also just so happens that the Jaegers and the vampires are both searching for the same ancient artifact. Sirius the Jaeger has a decent plot, decent characters, and some decent action. It's just an all-around very average anime. Personally, I tend to like anime set in the 1900s and vampires, so I definitely enjoyed it. But you should know it doesn't do anything new or special. This is your warning. Be sure to listen to this entire section before watching this anime. Number 3. Cerberus. 3 countries of equal power rule the continent, but a greater threat than all of them is the legendary dragon, Dagon Zord. This dragon's only purpose is to cause destruction and chaos, so a group of mages set out to try and seal the beast away. Our protagonist hero's parents were a part of these mages, and they died while trying to seal the dragon. So, the now orphaned hero winds up being raised by a master swordsman. After learning everything he could, Hero sets out to find and slay the legendary dragon in order to revenge his parents. So the story doesn't sound too bad, it's just some typical fantasy type of stuff. I mean, it can't be that bad, right? Wrong. I'm going to apologize in advance to anyone who worked on creating this anime. If I'm being completely honest, in my own humble opinion, this is hands down the worst anime that I've ever watched. So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend you go watch this anime, but it's on the list because I'm fairly certain you haven't watched it. Number 4. Astra, Lost in Space. A group of high school students are preparing to depart to planet Macpa for their school's camping trip. The students will be left entirely alone once they reach the planet, as this trip is viewed as a test of teamwork and leadership. As the kids are on their way to the campsite, they are sucked through a black hole and spat out into the dark void of space. Luckily, they find themselves next to an old but abandoned spaceship, which they plan to use to make their way back home. The problem is that they are thousands of light years away from their home planet, and they only have enough food and water for a couple of days. The students must quickly overcome their differences and work together if they want to live long enough to make it back home. And then the culprit behind this perilous situation may or may not be hiding among them. If you're a regular to this channel, then you've definitely heard me praise this anime before. In short, go watch this anime. Number 5. Restaurant to Another World. Don't worry, subscribers. I know 93% of you only watch isekai anime, so this one's for you. This anime is set in a restaurant which is located in the heart of downtown Tokyo. It is extremely popular with the locals, since it serves such a wide variety of different types of food. This restaurant functions like normal Sunday through Friday, but on Saturdays, they serve food to residents from many different worlds. This includes all of your favorite fantasy creatures, ranging from elegant mermaids to drunken dwarves or even all-powerful dragons. Honestly, I've been looking for an excuse to talk about Restaurant to Another World for a while now. It's just such a simple yet unique idea for an anime, and technically it's an isekai, which I know is right up your alley. So, were you honestly able to guess what waifu this is? It's Arya Kanzaki from Arya the Scarlet Ammo. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope to see you next time.